Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to film this video today because I'm seeing a lot of comments saying that, and not just on my video, but on many videos of other people even saying that, Monica is a victim in all of this too. Monica Sherrod is a victim. She should not be blamed for this murder. She should not be blamed for neglect. She should not be one. And if Monica would not have lied to the news, lied to you, lied to me, lied to everyone who was watching, and said that she did not know Darian from Adam, okay? And said that he just went to school with her son, which we now know was a lie. She knew him more than that. She knew Darian very well, actually, according to a lot of sources. She was even said to be asking the man who Darian tried to kidnap his granddaughter in the middle of Walmart, asking him to not press charges on Darian because he has mental issues and he was sleeping on her couch. Okay. Now, again, she approached this man in Walmart, according to some sources, saying that Darian has issues. Please don't press charges. Although this man's granddaughter was almost kidnapped and he was assaulted by Darian, okay? Mind you guys, let me just stop right there and say something. Had Darian been accountable for his actions when he tried to abduct the first child, had that man pressed charges on Darian for not just assaulting him, but trying to kidnap his 2-year-old, I think she was 2 or 4-year-old granddaughter, then this could have been avoided because Darian would have been in jail, okay? Period. If the man would have pressed charges, if he would not have listened to Monica Sherrod, which again, Monica Sherrod asked him not to press charges, according to some sources, and according to some sources, Darian said that he was sorry and apologized and yada yada, okay? Had this not taken place, Cash may still be here, okay? Just keep that in mind while you're saying that Monica is a victim. She's a victim, but she knew what kind of shit, excuse my language, Darian is capable of. Since he clearly tried to abduct the first child, she knew what he was capable of doing. She also knew that 2 days prior to Cash's murder, he came in that house, was playing with Cash, and she felt uncomfortable enough to tell him, don't ever come back, leave her kids alone, and to stay away from her. She doesn't want him, okay? So clearly she already knew what he was capable of doing. And she also already knew that he clearly came into her house 2 days before this happened. But yet, although she knew all of this information, continued to allow the boys to sleep at the other end of the house from where she was sleeping at and where the rest of the adults were sleeping at, with a door that does not lock properly. And the only thing she had to supervise them children was a camera pointing at their bed, okay? And we're going to talk about that camera again in a minute too, okay? But remember, she don't even remember the camera's there, so it's not like she checks these cameras often to make sure that the boys are okay, because she forgot that it was even there, okay? So I'm just saying, you guys sitting here talking about Monica is a victim and we're victim blaming. That is the biggest BS I've ever heard. Monica was too worried about her drug habit to protect these boys. Okay? Monica did not have to take care of these children, guys. Remember something. Remember this. She could have called CPS. She could have contacted the family of Trevor Gernon or of the mother to let them know, hey, I have Cash and I have Carter and I can't take care of them. Or even if she could take care of them, I just want to let you guys know they're in good hands. I'm taking good care of them. Do you want them back? Whatever, she could have protected them, and she failed to do that. She is a grown woman. This is not her first rodeo. She has children. She knows what she needs to do. She knows that these are two little boys who need help. Did they have doctor visits? Did she even have their information that she would need to take them to the doctor if something did happen? I doubt she did. You know, it's like if Cash or Carter would have fallen and gotten hurt or choked on something, how would she have gotten them the proper care? How would she have gotten them the proper care if they got sick? Would she have neglected to care for them then also? Come on. Seriously, like, you cannot sit here and say this lady is a victim. I'm not blaming Monica Sherrod for the murder of Cash and Carter. I don't think she killed them directly. I do not believe that. We know now that Darian had something to do with the murder. We know now that Darian had blood on his clothes. We know now that Darian was in the footage. Some people still don't believe that was Darian. Personally, I do. Okay? I personally do think that that was Darian in the footage, since the same clothes that were in the footage on the camera, accordingly to the news, were found in Darian's bedroom at his mother's house with Cash's blood on them. I don't see any reason for us not to believe that was Darian in the video. But I do not believe that that is all there is to the story. I believe there's much more that we don't know and that will come out soon. I'm just getting frustrated because it's like, you know, these boys need justice. And I'm not saying Cash needs justice. Cash and Carter both need justice. Carter is going to get older one day. And when Carter gets older, he's going to have to replay this shit in his head. He's going to have to question his parents, his mom, his grandparents, or whoever is taking care of him. Where is my brother? And I'm sure he's already done that. But he's going to question why this happened to Cash. Cash was the leader, remember? That's what Monica said. Now Carter probably feels lost without his leader. Now Carter probably feels lost without the only thing that was consistent in his life, which was Cash. His dad abandoned him. His dad left him. His mother left him. He had no family around other than his twin brother, who now is gone forever from this earth. Can you not understand how Monica could have prevented this from happening? She knew what Darian was capable of. She knew what kind of person he was and the stuff that he had done. And she did not call the police when she found that he was in her house. She did not think, well, you know, Darian did just come in my house the other day and was trying to play with according to her, my 4-year-old son, Cash, right? Her 4-year-old son that she claims is her son. Why would she not at least, at the bare minimum, put their bedroom somewhere else, or even bring the mattress in her room to sleep in there until she's comfortable enough to say that she knew that Darian was not going to try to come back and do something malicious? She knew what this man was capable of, and she continued to let this happen anyway. I've seen both of the videos Monica has posted. Well, both of the videos that Monica has been in. The first one being the interview on the news, okay? Which you could clearly tell she was jacked up on something. Maybe she was stressed and depressed too because of what happened to Cash. I don't believe for 1 second that she wanted this to happen. I don't. I just don't. That's my opinion. I don't believe that Monica wanted Cash to die. I do think she was traumatized by the event that took place. But I also think that she was very neglectful. I also think that she could have prevented this. The second video that I seen that she made to Benny, that video, you can clearly tell she is still on something. She's not straight. You know, this wasn't a wake-up call. What would be? What would be a wake-up call? And that's just my opinion. In my opinion, I don't believe that she was sober. And that's just what I think. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think Monica was sober? I don't. I know she's traumatized by this event. I know that this has been a very hard thing on her and her family. I get that. I know they've had a lot of criticism and backlash. But I think that instead of Monica getting on the camera and saying, you know, poor me and da 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 da, and I'm so sad. She needs to be getting up there and saying, you know what, I neglected to do my job. I neglected to do this. I decided to take Cash and Carter in. Yes, their dad left them there, but I could have called and had CPS get involved and found their family and returned them to a safe place, but I didn't do that. And I continued to use drugs, and I continued to leave them in the bedroom with the door that doesn't lock. I continued to neglect them by not contacting the police when Darian was in my house. I continued to neglect them by not handling things the way that I should have. Instead of asking the man in Walmart to not press charges on Darian, I neglected to not just protect Carter and Cash, but to protect everyone else. What was going on between her and Darian that was so big and important that she did not want that man pressing charges on him? Come on, y'all. Put your heads in this. You really have to think about it. So do I believe that she was a victim? Absolutely not. Let me ask you this. You think about it like this. If I'm drinking all day alcohol, I'm in my house getting drunk, hypothetically speaking, I'm in my house and I'm getting drunk all day long, and my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old are outside playing, and God forbid somebody kidnaps them, I'm not at fault for their kidnap, right? I'm not at fault for that, according to a lot of people, because I didn't do it. But then according to most people, I would be at fault. You know why? Because I neglected them. I was in the house doing other things. I was in the house under the influence, sleeping, while my children were up running around doing something they had no business doing. Well, it's the same situation, because she was under the influence of drugs. Let's be honest, okay? And not only was she under the influence of drugs, but she was also neglecting to protect them. She did not put them in a room that the door locks properly. She did not put them on the same side of the house that she was on, knowing that Darian had just tried to come in there and play with Cash, or was in there playing with Cash 2 days prior to his murder. She neglected them. I don't care what anyone says. She neglected to protect these children. Friend of Trevor and trying to take care of his kids, or no friend. I don't care what the circumstances was surrounding it. If somebody left their 2 children with me and took off for months, I would try to reach out to their family and let them know at the bare minimum that these children are safe. And don't even get me started on the house conditions. Like, come on, look at the house that these children were living in. She was so preoccupied doing whatever it was that she was doing that she didn't even care about hanging curtains up properly in their bedroom. Or, taking the paint that was sitting in their bedroom out of that room and putting it somewhere where the boys could not reach it. That's a hazard for children. Especially that age, they get into stuff they're not supposed to get into. I have a 3-year-old who will be 4 soon. And if I leave him in a room with a paint bucket, you know what he's going to do to my house and to himself? Come on. Anyways, you guys leave your opinions down below. What do you think? Do you think Monica's guilty? Do you think Monica's innocent? I don't believe that she killed the children. I don't believe that she tried to have them set up to be killed. It's crossed my mind. But I do believe that she's guilty of neglect. And she should be held accountable for that. That's just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think.